Let's get into tonight, man. I'm excited. Today is day number 3 of our binary options bootcamp. We have just honestly just been absolutely killing it, dropping nothing but knowledge, some fire for, here for you guys. And the crazy part is that it has all been absolutely free. So just a quick recap, if you guys are just tuning in, day number 3 is your first time here, right, on our binary options bootcamp. Very simply, we kicked it off day number 1 with probably the most important thing you can learn ever when it comes to trading binary options, and the number one reason why most people are not profitable, and that is their risk management strategy. I told you guys, okay, the 3x knockout system, being able to compound and stack your profits, risking only 2% with a potential to make over 10% on a daily basis. This is probably the only strategy or system you guys will need in terms of risk management when it comes to binary options, and it absolutely debunks anything that people say about the negative risk reward when trading binary options. We went over so much on day 1, including the fact that all you need to do is be 60% correct in your win-loss ratio. So 60% will keep your account at a nice, solid, a little bit in profit, but mostly at that break-even range. Anything at the 65% or better, okay, or around 65, 64, okay, your account is now growing and you are a profitable trader. And once you hit that 70% or above, you guys are absolutely crushing it, and you're multiplying your account using the 3x knockout system. So if you haven't already watched it, make sure you guys go back and study day number 1 of the bootcamp. Is going to change the game for you if you are struggling. If you feel like you're placing those trades and you just feel like you're struggling to actually grow the account, it is likely because you lack a risk management system. Okay, so make sure you tap into day number 1. Day number 2, we kicked it off officially with the RockStarr FX indicators live on TradingView. So if you guys missed day number 2, you missed our indicator training where we went over the RockStarr sniper bands. So we got sniper bands here on TradingView, absolutely fire. Taught you guys how to use the sniper bands and the RockStarr FX stochastic cross indicator in confluence with each other so that you guys can find these perfect entry points. So we talked about entries, we talked about confirmations, and we talked about entries. The biggest thing that you guys will want to take away from that is that there is a difference between confirmation and entries, okay? Confirmations are what we look for when we're looking to identify a potential trade setup, and an entry is where we make that decision that we're going to be entering the trade. So we went over 2 pieces of confluence, step number 1 and step number 2, okay, in the 3-step setup. Tonight, we're going to be tying it all together. We're going to be teaching you guys a little bit about market structure, support and resistance, how to tie that in for step number 3 of the 3-step setup, all right? Bringing the strategy full circle. And then I'm also going to be giving you guys probably the biggest tool that has helped me more recently in my trading, completely AI, right? It's an AI tool that's helped me level up my trading, okay, and keep track of everything that I'm doing. So super excited to be dropping that for you guys as well. And I think that alone is something that I should charge for, but you guys know, you know what I'm saying? I love you guys, so I ain't gonna charge you for that. Y'all gonna get it here completely free on YouTube. And if you use it correctly, I'm telling you, it would absolutely, if you just gotta use it. It's gonna be game changer for you, for your account, and this whole trading journey that you guys got going on right here. So Tuesday night, okay, which was day number 2 of the bootcamp, we went over our indicators. So we're not going to go too much into the indicator strategy. Tonight, we're going into step number 3, which is going to be learning a little bit more about support and resistance, how we would trade it in binary options and identify potential areas of support and resistance, and how to simplify it for you guys, whether you're brand new or whether you've already been trading for 2, 5, or even 6+ years, okay? So when we're trading in the markets, we know the markets only move in 3 directions. I stress this all the time because it's just easy to overcomplicate it. The markets only go up, the markets go down, and the markets go sideways, okay? When we're trading binary options, we make money literally with every single market there is. Doesn't matter if it's an uptrending market, a downtrending market, or if the market is moving sideways, and you know, you might call it consolidation, I call it a ranging market, okay? So we're catching those quick reversals on the range. Now with the strategy that we teach, you can trade it on either a trending market or ranging market, I just find that you're going to get more and better entries. It'll be a lot easier to clear that 3x knockout system when you're trading the range, because with typically a ranging market, you'll see multiple reversal points within one currency pair, but also within one session, okay? Whereas when you're looking at big breakouts or a trending market, like from here to here, for example, right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's make that a little steeper. So like from there to there, this could be good as well, but it's going to take a little bit more time for the markets to get back to obviously that trend line, bounce back up, so on and so forth. But we're going to be going over both of those today as well. So we'll talk a little bit about the range. We'll talk a little bit about trending markets, okay? So let's start off with the range, okay? So when you're trading a ranging market, typically what you will want to focus on more than anything is going to be support and resistance. All right. Now, if you guys are brand new to trading and you're not familiar with what support and resistance is, just to make it super simple for you guys, support is going to be, let me type it out for y'all. Oops. Oh, what in the world am I doing? All right. So support is going to be the floor of the market. All right. So the bottom of the market. And resistance is essentially the same thing, but we tend to use the term resistance for the ceiling. All right, so for the top of the markets. So I'll put resistance equals ceiling. Hopefully I spelled that right. If I did, let me know in the chat. Hey man, you ain't got to be smart to make money. All right, so okay, cool. All right. So when we're looking at the support resistance, we're plotting this down on the market or on the charts. Most people tend to overcomplicate it. What you got to understand is binary options makes it so much simpler because we're hyper scalping in the market. So we're looking for quick setups. Why is that relevant? Because if I'm looking for quick setups, typically what's happening right now in this session, I don't really need to know what happened, yesterday or the day before yesterday or the day before that or the day before that. We don't have to look all the way back here. Now, yes, when you are looking at the markets, you typically want to look at the left side of the market to be able to tell what is going to or what might happen on the right side. Yes, that is a thing, but we don't have to go too far back because we're only looking to be correct. We're only looking for reaction points. We just need some quick reactions for a short period of time. And once we clear that trade, we're out of it and we no longer have to think about it. And that's just how it is. That's how that works. So it's super lit, okay? So let's look at, okay, this area, for example. Okay, so this is our session. By the way, we do have our sessions indicators activated on the sniper band. So as you guys can see, this blue right here, blue shaded area is our London session, as you guys can see here. So that's our London session. All right, so everything in the blue shade is going to be London session. Like I said, these are great for back testing. They're also great for teaching, right? So we're using this just so it can make my life a little bit easier to identify the sessions for you. So London session started right here. You guys see that? I'm gonna make that a solid line so we can focus a little bit more. Okay, and London session obviously went all through past New York session and ended over here. Boom. So let's focus on this area right here. This is all one session. And in this one session, you guys can see very clear as day, market ranged within the same price points, bouncing off of these areas again and again and again. What areas am I talking about? Here, 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 here. Okay. You got the middle areas. Right, so that will be everything over here, and the top area is everything over here, and the bottom area is everything over there, just to keep it simple for you guys. Okay, so we bounced off of these areas multiple times within that session. Now, obviously, as you're trading it, you're not going to be able to see what's going to happen in the future. So how do you make that, I guess, educated decision or educated choice on when the markets are at a top and when the markets are at a bottom? All right, well, this is how we would do it. We see here at the start of London session, markets were at a bottom, right? So the markets came down right before London, okay? Right here, okay, is where London opened, And you can see clear as day that when London opened, markets proceeded to go up. All right. So what that tells me is that this area right here where we opened up London at, okay, is typically going to be a level of support. Now, how else can we identify that? Well, remember what I said. Anytime you're trying to figure out what might happen next, you look to the left-hand side of the screen to be able to determine what's going to happen on the right. So if I come to the right side of the screen, we see that we got reactions at this same area in the past over here. So there's no coincidence that our London session opened up and reacted and reversed up at the level of same price level of where it happened previously. So you got to remember that the markets move in patterns, and the patterns happen again and again and again. So over and over and over again. This is why I stress the importance of getting used to trading specific pairs, right? And sticking to maybe 1 to 3 pairs that you trade, and also getting used to trading at specific times. Everybody always wants to know what is the best time to trade. Honestly, any session aside from Sydney session, okay, it's an amazing time to trade. I don't think many traders trade Sydney, right? It's not the best session to trade. So any session is a good session to trade. It's just a matter of you getting used to or getting familiar with what is going on during that session. Why? Because these patterns happen again and again and again. So you will see these reaction points in the market that will essentially make it kind of easy for you to identify specific areas where the markets might react again. Does that make sense? So drop some 7s in the chat real quick if you guys are following me and that makes sense. Okay? Drop some 7s in the chat real quick. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do some quick, just real quick market replays. All right, for you guys. All right. So let's go back. I'm going to go back another candle. All right. So as we're opening up New York session, the markets are coming up. Typically, what I want to do is I want to see the markets come down. Okay. So when I'm looking at an area like this, I've already identified that this is a support area. I say this is a beautiful support. The markets are either going to come up here and bounce off of resistance. Why is this resistance? Who can tell me in the chat, why is this resistance? Okay, very simply, because again, we're looking to the left-hand side of the screen. So we can see clear as day. What can we see? We've had multiple reactions in this same price area. Remember, support and resistance is not an exact price. Okay, it's an area, or what we traders like to call a zone. Okay, a zone. So if we're looking at the reactions that happened in the past, I can make a strong assumption just looking at the charts right here that we will either get a bounce, trading a range up here, or again down here. All right. So as we're doing our market replay and we're looking at it, right, we see that the market starts to come down. Okay, not only do we see the market starts to come down, but once you get familiar with using the indicators that I told you guys, what do we also get? So you don't have to use this just for your trade entry. You can also use it just to kind of tell where the markets might be going next. We got our stochastic cross and our sell signal from our stochastic indicator, our stochastic cross indicator, right? So we got the sell signal and the cross. That's telling me markets are coming down. So once I identify that, I'm already looking for, okay, where would be the best price or the best area to where we should be looking for buys in this market. Okay, that's already what my mindset is. So this is how I'm able to get on the charts just a couple minutes ahead of time. And if you're in the Discord, you guys see me do it all the time. You know, when I trade in the morning in New York session, I'm able to get on a little bit ahead. I can take the picture of what my charts are looking like and what my prediction of where the markets might go next, right? But I'm able to do that based off of the different confirmations that I'm getting and the confluence that comes with it. So I'm seeing here the markets are making their way down. We're bouncing off that middle Bollinger Band, which we're going to learn about today, right? We're going to learn about that today, but we're bouncing off the middle Bollinger Band. We're making our way down, so I don't think it's going to come up to the top. Right now, I'm focused on buys. So I need the market to become oversold. Okay? So we continue. Get another bounce off that middle Bollinger Band. And all we're doing here, if you guys see this, even though we are in a range, all we're doing here is we're creating lower highs. You guys see that? So that's telling me the market is doing what? It's dropping right now. We're dropping like it's hot. So that's just another added confirmation for me to say, okay, yep, let's look for them buys, baby. Right? We're going to wait for the market to get to a low area of oversold. So we just keep on waiting. Okay, so now we are almost there. Our Bollinger Bands are pretty much at or near that oversold area, the sniper bands that we got set up here. Markets are almost at the sniper bands. Okay. We just hit that oversold area on our cross indicator. You guys see that? We're not getting in just yet. We're not getting just yet. See, a lot of people rush this. They would have rushed this. You would have seen the blue candle. You would have seen that we're in our buy zone, right? And people would have jumped into this trade too early. Okay, remember the 3 steps that we talked about. Well, technically, this is number 3 today, right? So remember the 2 steps that we talked about, okay? We want confluence in the indicators first, okay? We want confluence in the indicators first. So we want to see oversold here. We want to see oversold here. We just got that oversold, but the reason why we're not getting in yet is because we didn't get that second step, which is our stochastic cross. The stochastics has to cross up. Doesn't matter if the candle closed in our direction. If the stochastic didn't cross, it's not ready for the move. Boom. So we go ahead and we get our stochastic cross right here. So we're in our sell zone. Do you guys see that? Sell zone activated. How do we know this? From what happened back here. Sell zone activated. We're at the Bollinger Bands. We got our stochastic cross on the stochastics. You guys see that? And we got our buy signal ready to rock. We go ahead. We get a candlestick in the direction that we're looking to trade. Okay. And what's my rule of thumb? What's my favorite rule when it comes to entries on the binaries? Okay. What I always tell people is whatever time frame that you're entering on. Okay. I'll give you guys another little gem here. I do my markups on the 5-minute, but I tend to do my entries on the 3-minute. Okay. Yeah, it's the buy zone. Did I say sell zone? If I said sell zone, I meant buy zone, but this is the buy zone. So I do my markups on the 5-minute, but I tend to get my entries on the 3-minute. So for me personally, I would have entered this position for probably about 9 to 12 minutes. So that's anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 candles on that 5-minute mark, which is why I implement the 3 candle rule. Okay, 3 candle rule. So what we want to do is whenever you're trading binaries, what I advise to people is just to trade 3 candlesticks out, expiration time, 3 candles out from wherever your markups are. I mean, from wherever your entries are, sorry. Right? So we got our entry here. 1, 2, boom, 3. And we clear. Trade cleared right there. Okay? Trade cleared right there. But the importance of this is understanding that when you get on the charts, the first thing I do when I get on the charts themselves is I always look to identify, number one, what kind of market are we in? Any support, resistance, or trend levels, right, that we might be able to take advantage of, okay? And then from there, I look for the confluence in the indicators and everything else. But the first thing I always do is exactly what we did here, is I first identify the floor and the ceiling of the market, and then I want to see if we see anything like this. One is I just showed you guys. All right, indications of where the market might be going next. So obviously the markets are going down, okay? I don't get any confirmations on the way down right now. So I'm thinking, okay, it's going to make its way down, hit a low level, which coincidentally, we got our buy zone right here. Remember, we're buying at the bottom, we're selling at the top, right? So we hit the buy zone, and then we go in for the entry point. Okay, you guys still following me? Very simple stuff. All right. So that's the first entry right there. Okay. So as we're looking at that, right? As we're looking at that, we can trade the same session. We can trade the same currency pair. We can just wait, be patient. Obviously, we see here, what did the market do? After we closed that position right there, trade expired. What happened at the same time that our trade expired? Who can tell me what happened right here? What significance do we have in the markets right here? What significance do we have? What's happening there? We have the trend break. So we have the break of that trend that we plotted up from over here. Remember, right? We have this higher high, lower high, sorry. Another lower high. Right? So we're just plotting up our trend line. Is that not? Oh. Okay. Point A. Boom. Boom. So we broke that right here. All right. So we broke the trend. So once we break the trend to the upside, right? Typically, what does that mean? That means that the markets are likely going to continue to go up. Okay. They're likely to continue to go up. Now, for this strategy, okay, yes, there are break and retest strategies. We're not trading the break for this strategy, though. So even though we got a break of the trend, we're not entering buys on this trade. You need patience. So now that we know that the markets are going to continue up because we broke that downtrend, what should we be doing? Okay, what should we be doing? My thought process is I want to see it go all the way up to my sell zone. I want to see it go back up to that level of resistance. Look at all the reactions that we got over here. We got reaction, reactions. We got a small break, but it comes right back down. Reaction in that level. We got another break, but it comes back down. All right, comes down. I'm waiting for it to come back up to the zone. I want it to come back up to the zone. This is a strong zone. The strong area right there. Right? So now typically when you get multiple touches like that at a zone or an area, you'll probably end up getting the break, right? Instead of the bounce. So when we're trading the range, we're looking for the bounce. These are things that you got to keep in mind, right? I always say that when I trade, I'm like, what's the dude's name from Avengers that sees all the different, Doctor Strange, right? I'm like in the Matrix when I trade. You know, I look at the charts and I analyze and I look at all of the different possibilities and outcomes, and I go with what I believe to be the best possible outcome, right? So what do I believe is going to be the best move here? And looking at something like this, yes, you could break, you could trade the break and hope that it continues up. And, you know, you could even come over here and say, you know what, it might hit, you know, there's a lot of reaction points over here. It might hit resistance and break the resistance too. But no, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm waiting patiently. That's it. I'm waiting patiently. So I'm waiting to see what the market is going to do. And what I see here is that throughout the entire time that the market is coming up, we are in that overbought area for the stochastics. We're in the overbought area for the stochastics. Right? So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the sells. That's it. Now I want to replay. I want to go back real quick because I want to talk about this as well. As I was speaking, I noticed something, right? Don't know if you guys noticed this. This is perfect. Another textbook example of where patience pays. It pays to wait. It pays to wait. I'd rather wait and miss out on a trade than take it too early and take a loss. Right? Some of us can't afford those lessons. Right? You taking too many lessons, man. We can't afford those lessons. Right? Okay, so look at this, right? Perfect example. Do we have confluence here? We are at the Bollinger Bands. We were overbought for just a small period of time. We were overbought, and we did get our stochastic cross. Why would I not have entered this trade? Who can tell me? Some of y'all would have entered because you would have seen this, and you would have seen this, and you would have seen the candle going in our direction, and you would have entered the trade, right? Why wouldn't we have entered? Who can tell me in the chat? Come on, interaction. This is a live class. Class is in session, y'all. Right? It's a live class. Okay? Why? Why? Because step number 3 in the 3-step setup. Okay? Step number 1 and 2 are indicator based. Step number 3 is making sure we're at a proper level to even buy or sell. And according to this, we already identified that this is a strong level here. So I don't want no reactions outside of that level, especially that close. Especially that close. I wouldn't have entered here. We got to wait until it comes and sticks to our strategy. We got to stick to the plan, stick to the play. Do not break from the play. Never ends well. Boom, you would have entered and you would have lost. And you would have been like, oh man, I hate binaries. I just can't get it. I don't know why. Stick to the plate. So right now we're talking. See, because now where we're at? We're at our top sniper bands. Perfect. We are overbought. Perfect. And we're in that sell zone. 3 for 3 on the confirmations. All we need is that stochastic crossing down and the candle going in our direction. Let's see. Still going up. Boom. Stochastics cross down. Not only did the stochastics cross down, not only did we get the candle in our direction, what else did we get? What's that arrow? Who can tell me? Who was on day 2 of the boot camp? What's that arrow right there? That's right. That's right. That is our engulfing candle indicator. All right, let's integrate it into our sniper bands, making this an even better trade setup. A++. Get him for the entry. Let's get it. My God. Are we sniping the markets or what? Quick sniper or what? What is that? Let's go. Almost 7.5 pips. That's over 70 points in the market. Your entry wouldn't even have been visible on your broker. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when y'all get good at those entries, you know what I'm talking about. Once that bad boy expires, you can't even see the entry no more. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's how you know, like, those are the points where you can start looking for another setup. It's like, I'm so deep in let me go look for something else, but I already know we cleared this one. Let me go look for something else real quick. Easy work. Right? Easy work. So 70 points, over 70 points in profit right there. So another one, fire. But again, it wouldn't have worked if we didn't wait for what? Step number 3 in the 3 steps. Our SRTs. We need confirmation, support, resistance, trends, whatever it is. We need those confirmations. In this example, the confirmation, support, resistance confirmations. We're trading the range. So it's a quick up and down, floor ceiling, floor ceiling, floor ceiling. When we start trading the trend, I'm going to teach you guys how to do the trend confirmations with the middle Bollinger Band as well. We'll give one of those examples on this live stream too. Okay, so you guys seeing why this is so important. All three steps are relevant. So now we're at a different area or a different level of the market. Markets begin to come down. Markets begin to come down. They're coming down. As they come down, you guys, I mean, again, we're not doing the bar replay, but just look at what we got going on. That's all you got to do. As they come down, I'm noticing something. This is what I'm noticing. We are oversold here. Okay? We are on our way to the bottom bands, the sniper bands. And all I got to do is look to the left once again to be able to identify if this might be another area where we could potentially get into the markets. This is too easy. I'm telling y'all, it's too easy. Okay? If we look to the left-hand side of the screen, we see here, we did have reactions at this level. I like to do a lot of body to wick movement when I create my zones. Body to wick. So we're not necessarily making it down here. Not yet, and I'll explain how that's going to work, right? But you see here, we have reactions here. Where we're coming to right now in the markets. Boom. Reactions. So we got bounces, consolidation, breaks, consolidation, bounce. This is a level. These are levels here. Breaks, breaks, bounces, breaks, bounce, bounce, bounce. You guys seeing that? So we got reactions here. These are reactions. This is what we want to see. Reactions in the market. All right. So as I'm trading, I'm looking at, okay, where's the next possible entry at? This is what I see. What I see is this. We're making our way down. Okay. Sellers are starting to lose momentum. Why are sellers starting to lose momentum a little bit? Who can tell me? Long wick to the bottom. We went over this, I believe, last week on a live stream when we talked about candles and candlestick reversals. I think it was last week or the week before. Long wick to the bottom. So they're trying to push it down. They cannot maintain it. So we make our way back up. We closed out up here. Coincidentally, we are in another buy zone. So we're in a buy zone. We wicked that sniper band. We're oversold right here on the cross indicator. We get our bullish confirmation candle with the engulfing to include with it. You guys seeing it? It's a beautiful setup. It's a beautiful setup. So right after, yep, we're on to set it. Right after exhaustion right there, markets come back up. Boom. What we do? 1, 2, 3, close. Candlestick, 3 candlestick roll. That would have got us, let's see, just closing, just about four pips. So about 40 points in the market. We would have closed in profit, about 40 points. Did I do that right? Yeah, right. I did it here. Yep. So about 40 points away from our entry. Easy work. Easy work. Right? Now, if for whatever reason we were looking for our setup here and we got all our confirmations and it bounced, but it faked us out and then it started to come down. Just teaching how I'm looking at it. If it started to come down and it broke this area, then my next idea for entry would be this one. It would be this level, this area here. But for now, we're looking at where we're currently at in the markets. Where we're currently at is right here. And we do have multiple reactions at the price that we're currently at. So that's why I'm thinking it's about to react again. So that's how you would utilize support and resistance. Step number 3 in the 3-step setup. So this strategy is based on the top 2 indicators and SRTs. And then reversals are added confluence. Reversals can be anything like the teacup strategy that I taught you guys last week. Look at that. Right? How many of you guys are trading teacup? Any teacup traders here? So like, look. Boom. 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 There goes our drop. See? Added confluence. You can't make this up. Can't make it up. Double tops. Boom. Boom. Drop. with all of our confirmations. Can't make it up. Reversals will be that. Reversals will be, as I told you guys, the engulfing candles. Additional candlestick reversals. Additional confirmations. Boom. Reversals will be the times that we're getting these trades. I told you guys about market timing and being on the charts around the right time. Half hour, quarter hour, full hour. So let's just look at the timing. Look at the timings. You can't make it up. Right? So right here, we got a reversal in the market at what time? 4:30. Look at the bottom of the chart. 4:30 is when this reversal initiated. Boom. That's a half hour mark. Right here. This reversal initiated right here. Obviously, it's when we started moving the opposite direction. All right. And that is just at about, remember, nothing is going to be 100%. But that's just about what? 6 o'clock. So 5:55, 6 o'clock area. That's the full hour. Full hour. We would have entered that on 6 o'clock. 6 on the dot. Where was the next setup we got into? Right here? Yeah, right? Look at this one. Reversal initiated where? Look at the bottom. Oops. 6:30. You guys seeing that? I don't know if you guys can see the times or how big it is on your screen. Look at those times. Look at where the reversals initiated and tell me, right? Because a lot of y'all will probably sleep on that live stream that we did about timing, right? Market timing. You can't do it. Remember, binary options is all about time and price. So you have to study time. You got to get good at time. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Tell me that's not fired. So reversals is that extra added confluence that can absolutely change the game for you. It ain't a part of the strategy, but it's the added confluence. And the more you learn, the better you'll get at just reading the markets. Just reading the markets. That's it. The more you learn, the better you get at reading the markets. Right? Okay, so let's do some trending examples for you guys. All right, so we close out this session right here. As you guys can see, we're at the top of the markets right here. We start to make our way down. Start to make our way down. Start to make our way down. Okay. So as we're coming down, what I always tell people is the way that you're able to identify in this strategy, the way that you're able to identify whether the markets are in a strong movement down or a strong movement up is always going to be based off of our sniper bands. Why? Because remember, with the sniper bands, we're looking for either overbought or oversold. Okay. Now, in this example, the markets are going which direction? Which directions are we going in these markets? We're going down, right? We're going down. Okay. So what this tells me is that even though we're in a down moving market, we're still getting overbought reactions, which means it probably isn't that strong yet, right? It probably isn't that strong. So I'm still going to be looking for, obviously, the top bands or whatever. There's no real way to identify it, but I'm just giving y'all examples because there's going to be examples, and I don't want to spend too much time looking for them, but you'll see what I'm talking about. There's going to be examples in the markets where you could get these perfect entries and they look great, but you don't make it all the way up to the top band. The reason why you don't make it to the top band is because you can't be overbought in a downtrending market, just like you can't be oversold in an uptrending market. It just doesn't make sense. If the market is constantly going up, it's not possible for it to be oversold, right? So in that case, or at that point, where would we be looking for our reactions? That's the big question. Okay, so just based off of the chart that we have here, if I was on the charts over here and I'm marking up, or just if I'm marking up in general, if I'm marking up my charts and I'm going from here to here, all right, and we're getting our reactions, we're seeing this is obviously a down moving market. Okay, down moving market. By the time we get here and the markets are making its way up, okay, markets are making its way up, I'm not waiting for it to try to come here, because I already see we are in a downtrend. We already have a touch point on that trend line. We were able to create the trend line. So my next guess is that it's going to do it again at or near the trend line. I'm looking for a reaction at or near the trend line. Now, here's the thing. With our sniper bands, in a trending market, you don't want to use the top or the bottom bands to identify your overbought or oversold. What you want to use instead is that middle band, the gray area right here. You guys can't see it, right? So the middle band is going to act as a resistance when the market is underneath, and it's going to act as a support when the market is above. You don't believe me? Look at this market here, right? Okay, I can show you multiple examples. Obviously, markets are going up here. Clear as day. Obvious, right? And as you can see, what do we have? A nice bounce off that middle band. Markets are reversing here. We get a pullback, small pullback. But what happens? Market bounces off of that middle band. So now the middle bands are acting as the top and the bottom sniper bands. Okay? So in this example, we're waiting for our entry over here. Well, market play this, for example, so that you guys can see it. Markets are coming down. Markets are coming down. I already see this downtrend. And I already see that, look, stochastics are crossing up. That means that they're going to start pushing up now. Stochastics cross up. We're in a downtrend. Stochastic cross up. We got a blue candle here. They're going to start to come up. So I'm already thinking ahead here. I'm thinking ahead. And my thought process is, okay, I'm going to wait for the markets to come back up to my trend line at or near. Now, remember, support and resistance lines or even trend lines are very often meant to be adjusted. Okay, remember, they're not exact price points. They're zones. We already have this. All right. I'm going to put an arrow so you guys can see it. We have this right here, which was a previous area of interest where we have multiple reactions on, and we got an entry for back here. Right? I usually keep my markups on the screen too when I trade binaries. Right? So we already know that this is a reaction area. But what do we also see? Well, right above that, we have a reaction area here too, which happened during our downtrend. So now, okay, perfect. The market just created a sell zone for me. This is my new sell zone. So what I want to see is I want to see a reaction at the middle Bollinger Band, bouncing off of at or near that trend line within my sell zone. And as long as I get the confluence with my indicators, guess what? Solid trade. So we'll go ahead and we'll continue. Continue up till we get those confirmations in. It's looking like we might get it soon. And boom. You guys see here? We're at that middle Bollinger Band. You see it? We're in the sell zone. We're at the middle band. We're right almost wicking that trend line. We got a stochastic cross, sell signal to the downside, as well as that engulfing candle indicator, which means we got an engulfing candle. A++ setup for our three-step setup strategy. Just multiple confluence. Boom. Cleared. You guys see that? Trade cleared. 1, 2, 3 candles, and we are done. That's it. Now, obviously, we make our way back up. We break the trend, and we know the markets are going where? Up. It's just how it works. When I got back on the charts in 2025, if you guys were following the trading journey, you're seeing I had a $500 account in January, and about a month later, that $500 account was up over $5,000. We continued to grow that. We flipped multiple accounts since then. And if it wasn't for what it is I'm about to show you guys right now, my life would have been so much harder. It probably would have took me a lot longer to develop and backtest this strategy. Now, it's one thing to be able to backtest your strategy, and backtesting is really simple. It's no different than what we just finished doing in the markets, which is just going back, all right, identifying our trade setups, our trade entry points, everything that we look for, and we go back in the markets and we identify different areas or different points of the market where we got our confirmations and to see how accurate our strategy actually is. So we'll go back in the market and we'll just do the replays and we'll test certain things out and we make sure everything lines up. And if everything lines up and we consistently get these back-to-back wins, like I showed you guys today, we know it's a good strategy. So it's one thing to backtest. What most people don't do in their trading, though, is they don't journal the trade. Okay? And I'm going to teach you guys probably the easiest, simplest way to journal your trades. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to purchase any apps. You don't have to be a part of any platforms or anything like that. You just need one tool, ChatGPT. Right? So check this out, guys. Now, look, I want to show you guys how fire this actually is, okay? I use chat for everything, like literally everything. I have multiple chats that I have on the side. If you don't, like, I'll teach you guys something today because a lot of people don't even know this. What you want to do is with ChatGPT, you want to create separate chats for specific things. So I have a specific chat just for my trading journal. I even have a chat just for random questions, right? So what happens is that algorithm gets to know you a little bit better and it can answer a little bit better and it becomes more and more advanced based off of what it is that you are requesting or what it is that you want, right? So for this trading journal chat, I actually made this today, all right, just to kind of show you guys how accurate this is, okay? So I told chat, I said, I'm creating this separate chat as a demo, showing our audience how you have and could significantly help with a trading journey, okay? In the past, you have helped me backtest and log specific strategies and setups that have now made me thousands of dollars. Could you show them an example of what our trading journal would look like? Okay, so immediately, chat just gets straight to it. Okay, and it explains, here's a live example. Right, here's a live example of what a trading journal looks like. This is exactly the type of structure, tracking, blah, blah, blah. So backtesting, refined, ultimately locked in the strategy and turning into thousands of profits. Thousands of profits, by the way, that are all tracked by ChatGPT, right? So check it out. So it'll create these tables and everything for you guys that you can actually use. I don't have to type anything. I actually use the talk to text feature on my phone and I just be talking to it. And I say, hey, look, today, this is what we did. Today we got into this trade, right? We were looking for a X, Y, and Z, da, da, da. And I just talk. That's what I do. After I trade, I talk to ChatGPT for like 30 to 60 seconds. And it logs everything for me, creates beautiful charts, right? I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more, but this is just an example. So as you guys can see here, 3 days back to back, and it'll let you know the date, the pair, the setup, the entry, the stop loss, take profit, okay? How many pips we risk, the reward, your risk reward, outcome, and why it is that you lost the trade or what we could have done better, all right? So as you guys see here on this example, it says entered late on resistance break, price faked us out, right? These are just obviously examples. These are demos, all right? Okay, so here's blah, blah, blah. So every trade is logged, so on and so forth. So I did another example for chat, for you guys on chat as well, okay? Because you can upload pictures. So I actually uploaded a picture of today's trade session. If you guys are in the Discord, you know what I'm talking about, but we caught a fire almost 1 to 4 risk to reward trade on NAS 100. Super fire entry, and I said let's run a live example. So I broke down the trade, all right? I submitted a picture and it stores all this for you guys as well, okay? So you can go back and you can view all these things, right? But again, it'll give me the charts, it'll give me the full breakdown. All right, so these were the 2 positions for today. I took 2 trades today, all right? Again, it explains what happened during those trading positions. We won with the full TP, a 1 to 3.7. All right, reward 112 pips with a 50 pip risk. Right, this one was a 30 pip risk. Right, so here's how today's look. Boom. So then it asks you questions. It refines based off of the more you talk to it, it'll refine certain things. So it says, do you want me to also generate a summary dashboard? All right, and I'm not going to read everything, but you guys can see it. So here's my summary dashboard. Total trades for the day, 2 wins. All right, 2 trades, 2 wins, 100% win rate. All right, average R to R, 2.85. Total pips gain, 132. So to break this down, here's the big summary here's the big picture summary from today's trades, pulled straight from your journal. Now, the more you use it, right, the more you use it, the more data it collects, the more or the more refined your journal will be, and it will even start to give you advice on how you could better your trading or better your strategy. And I'm going to show you guys how that looks with some of my actual journaling, right? So again, this is over 1 month, just a 1 month example. All right, and you could also download all these tables as well. You can download the tables and the charts. You can store them wherever. You can do it month by month, completely up to you. The reason why I like this so much is because I used to pay for a trading journal app. And I don't know why. I don't know why. But I used to pay for a trading journal app. And I used to pay every month for it or annually. And I could have just been using ChatGPT this entire time to make my life so much easier. So much easier. But look, so this was one day, what was it, July 14th? All right, looking for uptrend on the bounce, uptrend for bounce to the upside. We got a big drop followed by a large bullish bounce off the trend, right? So I told you exactly what happened. Again, I'm just talking the text here. All right, small retracement, but we hit our 1 to 2 and place a stop loss at break even. 1 to 3 target hit shortly after. 35 pip stops, never hit. So look how it breaks this down for me. Backtest journal entry, Monday, July 14th, trade setup. It got our exact currency pair, got the date, New York session, 9:30 a.m. Is this fire or what? Who thinks this is fire? Right? So if you're still new to journaling your trades and tracking your trades to go back and be able to, you know, kind of figure out what we could do better, this is where it gets great, right? So setup type, trend line bounce plus bullish momentum confirmation. That's our stochastic cross, right? So it already knows me. It knows what I want. I want that cross. All right. Sharp drop followed by a strong bullish bounce off the upward trend. Entry delayed. Waited for confirmation. Bullish candle close. Plus stochastic cross up. Quarter level confluence at the 500 level. It's breaking down my full trade. I didn't even tell it all of this. It just knows how I trade. Right? So trade execution, blah, blah, blah. Boom, boom. Result. Small retracement after entry. 1 to 2 hit. Move stop loss to break even. 1 to 3 hit shortly after for the full take profit. 35 pip stop loss never touched. Key takeaways. Okay, so this is where we get better. This is where we get better. So after you do this little by little, we start to get better. Okay, key takeaways. Perfect, patient, pays. Okay, I passed on the early aggressive entry and waited for a clear candle close plus the stochastic momentum. This made the trade low stress and high conviction. Confluence built into the trade, not forced. I think this is pretty good. What do you guys think? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Is this pretty good or what? Again, I don't know. I get excited about things like this. Maybe you guys don't. I don't know. I feel like if you don't get excited about stuff like this, you're probably not. Trading's just not gonna work for you, bro. I don't know. But let's keep going. Entry at the 500 level shows that psychological zones continue to matter with NAS 100. That's a gem for you guys in itself. If you guys trade indices and trade NAS 100. Okay, I've back tested. I've been trading this all year round. We are now 9 months in, and you're seeing that it says here, entries at the 500 level shows that the psychological zones continue to matter. That means they mattered in the past. In our back testing, they mattered before, and now they continue to matter. Risk management is on point. Break even at a 1 to 2. Protected our capital. In case of a reversal, trade played out to a full 1 to 3 without ever threatening our stops. Strategy notes. This is an A+ trade. Clean structure, valid confirmation. I can keep going and going and going. So then it asks me, let me know, would you be, when you're ready for a weekly summary? I'm guessing this was the end of the week. We got a solid log of trades that's building a killer case study for how effective your Confluence system really is. It's boosting my ego a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's boosting my ego a little bit. So I say, how are we looking for this week so far? Each pip is $10, by the way. Just clarifying, I never really said that to it before. So I wanted to know exactly what we're looking like. So each pip is $10, by the way. 1 to 3 is 15 is 1,050. 35 pip stop loss is minus 35. Right? Okay, cool. Thanks for confirming that pip value. Boom. Okay, cool. So now it gives me the full thing. Full log for the week. As you guys see, we had a pretty okay week. It wasn't the best, but we made close to, what, 1,000 minus 350. So close to about 2K for the week. Not the best week, but we were still up for that week. July 14th to the 17th. Almost 2K for the week. All right. Total pips gain, 175. Total pips loss, 35. Net pips, 140. Total profit, 1750. So there you go. There's my total profit for that week. All right. And we took 4 trades for the week. Weekly. This is our week's key takeaways. All right. Now, again, I'm showing you guys, this is obviously for NAS, but y'all want to be able to use this for your binary options trading as well. Same exact thing, same exact setup. I should be right now opening up your eyes to something that you probably never thought of. I know most of y'all never thought of this. All right. But it gives you all of this in-depth, like real key stuff. All right. Let me know your best trades came when you waited for all of your boxes to be checked off. The only loss we took came from an early entry before the proper structure break. We went over that today, right? So nobody's perfect. Even I do it sometimes. All right. So waiting for confirmations post momentum equals a high probability win. I get excited. I said, this is great. All right. I'm going to move forward with these confirmations to continue the log live. Let's go. You've dialed in on a killer system. You know, right? All right. But hopefully you guys see what it is that we're talking about, right? So tell me that's not fire, okay? Because I know a lot of y'all probably use ChatGPT, but you never really used it this way, all right, to help you with your trading. And if you want to become a full-time trader, I've always struggled to kind of journal my trades because I just don't like typing. I've never been a real, like, writer. I've never been, I just wasn't good in school, to be honest with y'all. So, like, having to type everything or write it down or get in a book. I know some traders got a book. I got a trading journal. There's one like right there on the shelf. You guys probably can't see it, but there's one on the shelf. It's blank. Nah, it's not blank. I got like 3 or 4 pages filled out. But I don't like writing it. And then I tried to use my phone on the notes. I didn't really like that. And then I also got this app. Now I was using the app for quite a while, but this just 1,000% takes the cake. When I'm done trading, like I said, I can just pick up my phone, open up chat, be like, hey, XYZ, XYZ, go ahead and log this for me. Boom. Not only does it logs it, it creates the spreadsheets for me. It creates the charts. It lets me know what we could have done better. It creates patterns over a long period of time to say, hey, this is what's been working in the past. Maybe you should stick to this. And that's how you improve. That's just how you take your trading to a whole nother level. So if you guys do want to begin to use chat for your trading as well, here's what I did. All right, I'll pull this up for you guys before we go ahead and move on with this. I said, look, what will be a good prompt for our students to use to get the best and most accurate backtesting strategy, backtesting trading journal out of you? Me and you have been working together for a while in our trade journey or journal chat. So give them something similar to what we have going. Okay, so we put together this prompt for you guys. Very simply, if you want, you can go ahead and take a screenshot. If you're on an iPhone, you can take a screenshot and copy and paste it right there straight to your ChatGPT. All right, and name that chat your trading journal. But here's a quick prompt for you guys. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Obviously, you guys can read it. All right, just to make sure you get every single point that you can possibly get into it. And kind of, again, the purpose of having a coach or a mentor, right, somebody teaching you, is to skip all the steps. So my trading journal, it took me a while to get to kind of where it is that we are now in chat, understanding exactly what I'm looking for in my trades, and things like risk to reward, outcome, win loss, so on and so forth. So we're skipping all of that for you guys. We're giving you exactly, for the most part, I can't say exactly because it got to build up, right? But almost exactly what it is that I have in my journal itself: date, pair, setup, strategy, entry price, stop loss, all these different things right here in this prompt right here. All right, so go ahead, copy and paste that, throw that into your ChatGPT, and you should be good to go. All right, so sheesh. One time for the one time, go ahead and light up the chat for me real quick. If you guys are watching the replay, go ahead and drop some comments. If you guys have any questions on what it was that we learned in these last 3 days, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me in the Discord. Discord link is going to be in the description below. All 3 of these bootcamp days are going to be put together in one playlist. So if you guys want to go ahead and rewatch that, I'm going to link the playlist in the description as well. Okay, so you guys can go back and watch all 3 days. But it's going to be fire, and I already know we're going to help a lot of people just with this bootcamp alone. Continue to share it out, but we're going to help a lot of people start to see some real profit and change the game in the whole binary options space. None of that hype, none of that fluff, none of that fake stuff, none of that flipping $1 to $10,000, right? We're teaching you how to progressively grow your account and actually become a trader. Okay, actually be a trader and make full-time income, not quick profits, not profits that are like one-off, one time here, not there. No, quick full consistent profits over a long period of time, all right, so that you can change your life with it, all right? So with that being said, guys, have a blessed Thursday. We're coming into the weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoy. But as always, this has been your boy Rico, aka RockStarrFX. I'm out. Peace.